So I just saw an interesting article in the Wall Street Journal, this is from a few weeks ago, and it says, the latest hot tech secret, your email. The subhead is, frustrated by social media, businesses and others looking for an audience turn to an old standby. Email allows brands to intimately connect with customers at their leisure. So you might think, okay, Wall Street Journal, what do they know? They're old school. Well, they know quite a bit. This isn't the first video I've recorded that tells you that you're crazy if you're ignoring email. You are crazy if you're ignoring email. There are some people out there that say email is dead. Those are generally not people that are selling stuff. The people who are selling stuff know the place to sell stuff is email. The place to acquire, the word is acquisition. So the way you acquire the lead these days is generally social media or is advertising. Not generally, but a lot of the acquisition takes place on social media. A lot of the acquisition these days takes place via advertising. Most of the advertising for most of our businesses is on social. That's where the action is right now. Not all of the action, but that's a big chunk of the majority of the action for the majority of us is on social. But once you get someone to your site, you want to get them on your email list because that's how you make sales. Now, a lot of you are saying, okay, well, Wall Street Journal, what do they know? They're old school. Jeff is old school. Look, he's got gray hair. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's been doing this forever. Well, I was just in a meeting with the biggest company in our space. And let's just define our space as being selling training, education, information. And this is a company, so I'd say I get out to see a lot of companies, right? I get to see behind the scenes of a lot of what's going on. And a lot of the major players are at that $10 million range or so. The biggest businesses are more in that sort of $100 million range. There's just a few of them. There aren't very many, just a few of them in that $100 million range. And then there's one company that's at over $1.5 billion. So that's $1,500 million. That's a lot of money. And that company, they do almost all of their sales, almost 100% of their sales are driven by email. Now they do their acquisition, they're advertising wherever they can advertise. Their acquisition is all over the place through every paid media channel you can have, including social media, but they're bringing people in, they're putting them on an email list, and they're driving their $1.5 billion, with a B, billion dollars in sales almost exclusively through email. So I might be old school, and you might say email is dead, and you might say, I don't know what I'm talking about. And you might say that the Wall Street Journal, they don't know what they're talking about. There's all these flashy people doing their Insta stories and supposedly making sales, and there's all kinds of people out there that want to teach you how to use social to make sales. That's just fine. I just say follow where the money is. Follow the company that's doing $1.5 billion in sales, and they're doing it all via email. So generally, there's a lot of influencers running around. The ones that are making sales are driving people to email and then using email to sell. So absolutely use social to build your following, use social to build your tribe, use social for acquisition, use social to put people on your email list and develop that relationship with them. You know, you can continue to develop your relationship via social, but if you want to make sales, you need to put them on an email list. So I'm Jeff Walker, wherever you're watching this. Scroll down, leave a comment for me. All of you who just love social, just tell me how wrong I am, and I'll just answer you with $1.5 billion. So I'm Jeff Walker, wherever you're watching this. Scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get them this week.